Prudhoe Bay 2024. This ride took place on July 18, 19, and 20, 2024 from Tok, Alaska to Prudhoe Bay and back. This is my fourth lifetime motorcycle trip to Prudhoe Bay and my second one this year. I left Tok with overcast skies but dry weather. I hit a couple spots of construction between Delta Junction and Fairbanks, which is very common throughout our short Alaska summers. And then, in Fairbanks, I met up with Steve Rahm and Izzy, motorcycle traveling friends of mine. We stopped for dinner at the Hilltop gas station before I headed north towards Prudhoe. Here begins the 414-mile journey up the Dalton Highway. This well-known adventure motorcyclist bucket list dream road was built in 1974 by the Alyeska Pipeline Service Company to support the development of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline and to service Alaska's North Slope oil fields. This road was originally closed to the public until after it was turned over to the state of Alaska in 1979. The primary traffic you will find here year-round is commercial motor vehicle traffic, hauling supplies to the oil fields. At a road construction delay, I met Gary and his friends from Oregon on a ride to Prudhoe Bay in celebration of his retirement. I ended up riding along with them for much of the rest of the trip. You would be nearly unable to make this trip during midsummer here without making a new motorcycling friend. Tailing behind them resulted in me eating a lot of dirt, but the entertainment of having some company to travel with made it well worthwhile. I have traveled this highway once before on dry roads, once on extremely challenging muddy roads, and once by motorcycle in March of this year on icy winter roads. No matter what time of year you ride this road, it is a challenging journey. Road conditions change frequently due to road construction, potholes, maintenance, and changing weather conditions. Plus, your nearest motorcycle shop and tow company is in Fairbanks, nearly 500 miles from Prudhoe Bay. Being prepared for whatever problems, luck, and the road might throw your way is always well advised. Everyone who has completed this journey can tell you it was an accomplishment to be proud of, and the views are generally worth the preparation and effort. Day one ended in Coldfoot, where I pitched my tent in the lawn of Coldfoot Camp with many other motorcyclists who were either on their way to or returning from the north. On day two, the weather was forecasted to be good, so I did something I have never done before and left my tent set up in Coldfoot. I planned to round trip a total of nearly 500 miles to Prudhoe Bay and back that day. We had good weather, and although the road was rough in places, as it usually is, the surface was dry and I had no complaints. The first 20 or so miles out of Coldfoot are paved. After that, you will find dirt and gravel for most of the next 170 miles. The Adigan Pass area here is my favorite part of this whole trip every time. It is a stunning part of the ride. These wind covers from Hippo Hands are a game changer for wet or cool weather riding. If you'd like a set, code AK.KLR650 will give you 10% off at checkout on hippohands.com. At the time of this recording, I've put on nearly 50,000 miles with a pair of Hippo Hands on my bike and have not regretted them at all. As you continue north, the landscape flattens out a lot, but the tundra is still very interesting to see. To me, it carries its own sort of beauty and vast expansion. About 50 miles out of Prudhoe Bay, we hit one of the best stretches of pavement that Alaska has to offer. It is a welcome break from the miles of rough roads that precede it. Along this portion of the road, we saw musk oxen and a massive herd of caribou. Rounding the last bends coming into Prudhoe does not deliver particularly impressive scenery, but does come with a massive sense of accomplishment that you've reached the top of the continent and a bigger than normal fuel bill. I left Gary and his crew at Dead Horse Camp, where they will take the bus a few miles into the secure oil fields to the shore of the Arctic Ocean to jump in for a swim. I've done the bus tour before and didn't reserve a seat 24 hours in advance as required to be able to go again. After a bit of wandering around town and a stop at the local store with the famous sign and sticker wall, I meandered my way over the 240 miles back south to Coldfoot, where Gary and his friends will catch me later tonight. There is a reason this road is on most adventure motorcyclists' bucket list of places to ride. I could pass through here many times and never tire of seeing it. The road here changes day to day. The weather can be challenging or a breeze. The road is always a bit rough, and you should definitely be prepared for whatever nature and the road can throw your way. But wow, it is worth your time to travel it. After another night's rest in Coldfoot, I packed up camp and returned nearly 450 miles back home to Tok. Although 3 days is a rush for this trip, and you could easily take 5 or more to make it more relaxing, I found this a well-spent 3-day weekend ride. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next adventure coming soon.